Now, part of the political bias shown in both courts can be seen around the evidence considered. For example, the New York Times reported in April of this year that the number of aid trucks entering Gaza had doubled to over 400 per day. But the United Nations disputes that. The Associated Press reported that one of the major land crossings into Gaza was closed due to Hamas rocket attacks and another by Israeli incursions. Yet Mr. Khan seems to blame only Israel for the humanitarian situation in Gaza. Even determining how much aid is entering Gaza is difficult. For example, Israel's coordination of government activities in the territory states that 133 trucks of humanitarian aid, 2 tankers of fuel, and 4 tankers of cooking gas passed through the Kerem Shalom crossing in a single day. For that same day, the United Nations Relief and Works Agency for Palestine Refugees, or UNRWA, claims only 9 aid trucks passed through the crossing. All of the reporting I could find focused on Israel's incursion into Gaza and its cities. The fact that this was in response to Hamas's October 7th attack on Israel, the cruel and inhumane attacks on Israeli civilians, rarely seems to be mentioned. Also, all the blame for the conditions in Gaza seem to be laid at the feet of Israel, not Hamas, while ignoring its tactics of hoarding fuel and other supplies, of storing fuel and ammunition in and around hospitals, schools, and other civilian complexes. This biased news, not to mention the apparent biases of UNRWA and other United Nations organizations, may be what Mr. Khan is using to attempt to find some moral equivalence between Israel's attempt to find and eliminate a criminal organization with the stated goal of their destruction and the claims of genocide by Palestinian supporters. Little attention seems to be given to the inhumane and cruel criminal attacks Hamas not only performed, but recorded and reveled in. Similarly, the evil portrayal of Donald Trump and any future administration he may lead may have led to the justification of the attitude of "stop Trump at any cost" that we saw in his New York City trial. From the difficulties in finding unbiased jurors, to the treatment of the defense objections and the refusal to allow defense expert witnesses related to the alleged crime the alleged business records were in furtherance of, to the biased jury instructions. In fact, the entire trial seemed more about getting Trump for something than actual administration of justice. In both cases, the court's political opponents were painted as evil by using biased reporting on biased information from biased witnesses. All in all, it was an attempt to justify the treatment of the accused.